Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com. A deadly rollover crash claims the life of a Victoria woman. What we know about the investigation as it begins. And deliberation continues in New York as one music mogul awaits a verdict in a sex trafficking trial. Plus, a new detainment camp opens in Florida. What officials are dubbing the camp as the president pays a visit.
And zoomed in to Calhoun County, a few rain showers now near Seadrift. As a matter of fact, the city of Seadrift is getting some rain shower activity as we speak. Another one waiting in the wings south of the island there in Calhoun County, working its way inland later on. Rain chance today, yes, and Saharan dust in the forecast as well. Talk about that in your holiday forecast coming up.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. The Victoria Gators cheerleaders are firing up a fireworks stand before the 4th of July. Hear directly from the team on how their proceeds are making a difference.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and welcome to your Wednesday morning. We've got a busy news day, and we've also got a reminder about the generator giveaway.
Aztec Ford Goliath who's sponsoring this.
Exactly, and there's a link on our website where you can sign up and maybe you can be the fortunate winner of this giveaway. And we also have several closings for the 4th of July set for Friday, so don't forget. Friday, maybe prepare your pets. It's going to get really loud.
True.
Because people are proud.
They're loud and proud.
That's right, Trey.
And our temperatures are here. I'm not so proud of that. Well, it kind of comes with the territory, but we're glad to be here. Don't get me wrong. Okay, a few rain showers currently this morning. One in the city of Seadrift is getting a little rain shower activity as we speak there, moving toward areas near Bloomington. It may hold together by the time it gets there in about 20 minutes or so. Another one waiting in the wings off the coast of Calhoun County and near Matagorda Island. It gets way inland a little bit later on, about 15 minutes or so as well for that one. Live view courtesy of the live cam from the Victoria College Emerging Technology Complex off of Lone Tree Road in the southern part of Victoria. Current temperature is 76 degrees, so it's warm and humid with 97% humidity, a lot of moisture to work with, 10-mile visibilities. And you notice kind of, if you look real close here, you kind of see a little hint of some Saharan dust in the air, kind of right there, and maybe kind of right in there a little bit, and some high clouds mixed in with that. And the main story today is going to be the heat and a few rain showers working in. Currently saw those near Seadrift, and a few more in the inland areas later on today. What about that weekend forecast? And July 4th, not that far away. Will it be hot as a firecracker? We'll take a look at that possibility later on in the full forecast to come. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. State troopers are investigating a deadly one-vehicle rollover crash. It happened on Highway 59 near Spur 91 just before 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. Officials say the car was northbound when it left the roadway for unknown reasons and flipped multiple times. The driver, 24-year-old Emma K. Fryer of Victoria, was ejected from the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. Troopers with the Texas Department of Public Safety are still investigating what led to the crash. A tip from the public led to the arrest of an El Campo murder suspect. Monday afternoon, police in Brazoria got word Brandon Dwayne Stevens, wanted for a deadly shooting at an El Campo convenience store just a day earlier, was hiding out in town. An anonymous caller gave a precise location and a clothing description. Officers, along with county deputies, moved into the home where Stevens was taken into custody without incident and is now facing a first-degree murder charge. He's being transferred back to El Campo. The president's big, beautiful bill narrowly cleared the Republican-controlled Senate Tuesday with a 50-50 vote, broken by Vice President J.D. Vance. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, Senator Thom Tillis of North Carolina, and Maine Senator Susan Collins, all Republicans, joined 47 Democrats who voted against the bill. The vote followed a marathon session lasting over 24 hours. The bill now moves to the House, which must act quickly to meet the president's July 4th deadline. President Trump toured a new immigration detention facility outside Miami Tuesday. He met with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to walk through the site known as Alligator Alcatraz. Governor DeSantis said the facility, located deep in the Everglades, was constructed in just 8 days and began accepting immigrants last night. There were 3,000 beds at Alligator Alcatraz and 2,000 beds will be at the Camp Blanding location in South Florida. Jurors deciding the fate of Sean Diddy Combs resumed their deliberations this morning. They've reached verdicts on all charges except for one. Here's ABC's Lionel Moisey.
A cliffhanger in the Sean Diddy Combs trial, the jury revealing a partial verdict on 4 of the 5 criminal counts against the music mogul. Jurors sending a note saying there are unpersuadable opinions on both sides, the group unable to decide the first count, the racketeering conspiracy charge. But the note saying the jury is prepared to release a verdict on the 2 counts of sex trafficking and 2 counts of transportation for prostitution.
But what this means for Sean Combs being stuck on the racketeering conspiracy, we're not sure, and we don't know which way they're going on the other counts, based solely on Combs's demeanor as the note was being read in court. He doesn't seem to think this is going very well for him.
Combs at one point wiping his eyes and sitting with his chin resting on his hand as his lawyers huddled around him, his family watching from the second row.
He has 9 defense attorneys. They surrounded him when you saw him sit back into his chair like the gravity of the moment. We see Nicole Westmoreland, his attorney from Atlanta, literally rubbing her temples. We see Brian Steele. Whatever is going on with the conversation, you see his eyes are blinking and he's like snapping.
The judge instructing the jury to continue deliberating, urging them keep an open mind and telling them they should not hesitate to change an opinion when convinced that it's erroneous. The racketeering conspiracy charge requires jurors to find Combs committed at least 2 of 8 underlying crimes, such as arson, where prosecutors allege he ordered the firebombing of rapper Kid Cudi's car, or bribery, where they say he tried to pay off a hotel security guard after surveillance cameras captured him attacking his then-girlfriend.
I also believe that they are hung up on whether or not there is a conspiracy. The co-conspirator must agree, and I think that that is something that we have not seen true detail on.
Right.
Although these individuals worked for him, their job was to do the things he asked, and I think that is going to cause a lot of issues within that jury room.
If a verdict is not reached on the racketeering charge, Combs could still face a lengthy prison sentence if he's convicted on the other charges. The jury, made of 8 men and 4 women, resumes deliberations this morning. Court is closed Thursday and Friday for the 4th of July holiday, but there is a possibility it could be open tomorrow for deliberations if the jury does not reach a consensus today. Lionel Moise, ABC News, New York.
President Trump says Israel agrees to the necessary conditions for a Gaza ceasefire. He announced this on Truth Social after meeting with Israeli representatives. Israel has not yet confirmed the president's announcement, and Hamas has not responded to the ceasefire. The president pushes to end the conflict after Israel broke a previous ceasefire in March. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will visit the White House Monday. The Pentagon has decided to pause some of its munitions shipments to Ukraine, including important air defense missiles. A senior White House official explains the decision follows a comprehensive review of military spending and U.S. support to foreign countries. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth approved this review several months ago. At this time, it remains unclear whether aid to other countries will be similarly affected by this pause. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time now is 6:38 on our Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. The countdown begins for the transfer of a local university to another higher education system.
President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill faces a battle ahead in the House. I'm Nicole D'Antonio in Washington with details on the changes to the bill and why some Republicans are against it.
Few rain showers along the coast this morning, Calhoun County and Aransas County specifically, and increasing a little bit more in the daytime hours during the inland areas of the day. Inland areas of the Crossroads region from about 12 noon to about 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Be mindful of that. What about your holiday weekend forecast? We'll take a look coming up. Good morning, good morning. Dealing with the Saharan dust again today. You'll notice that in the atmosphere as we get through the daytime hours today. And that's putting us in a moderate air quality category. Not anything too dangerous out there, but it could be if you're in one of the sensitive groups with the dust in the air, so be mindful of that. Speaking of that, We have another plume coming off the continent of Africa, staying out the Atlantic Ocean for the time being, and reducing a little bit there in the Caribbean Sea near Cuba and Jamaica. But we're dealing with the dust around here, moving inland as we speak. It has been for quite a while, a little bit more out in the Gulf, still working its way toward the Texas and Louisiana coast. But I think we'll get a break from this starting really tomorrow, and you'll notice that in the atmosphere with a little more blue skies to be seen in our atmosphere here. Starting off with the low 90s overall, notice the temperature trend a little bit more higher, getting higher, more mid 90s or so by the weekend into next week. More sunshine in our forecast area here, allowing for temperatures to rocket up a little bit more. And also heat index values well into the triple digits by the afternoon today. Even more so, maybe 105 to 106 by the weekend. So be careful out there having the outdoor plans. Drink plenty of water, find some shade, and be sure to be safe out there, of course. Once again, there's a few rain showers there. They kind of maybe look like they're trying to dissipate a little bit. There's one little remnant there near Seadrift. More waiting in the wings just south of the coast of Calhoun County. Building up a little bit more in the afternoon hours around here with the daytime heat. What does your forecast look like for the holiday weekend coming up? Got you covered coming up a little bit later on.
This 4th of July is seeing one of our schools in the Victoria Gators take part in helping give into some of the action. The homeschool has been running a fireworks stand here in Victoria with all proceeds going to their team. Here's a word from a few of their cheerleaders.
We are actually raising money for the Victoria Gator Cheer Squad. This cheer squad is incredible. We are raising money so that we are actually able to go to camp and to get all the uniform pieces that we were able to have this year because of our fabulous coaches and our worker behind the scenes.
So there's this big NCAA cheer camp. Last year about 300 girls went. We go for like 4 days a week for 1 week, and we just learn so much, and it helps us out for our football season and all of our girls, and we grow as a team.
Wishing the Gators good luck in a successful cheer season. But that does it for your 25 News Now Sports. Until next time, I'm Ray Robinson.
Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can stream our daily newscast and much more using your connected TV. Download the Crossroads Today Plus app on your Roku. Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Android TV, search for Crossroads Today Plus. After a tie-breaking vote in the Senate, the House is now taking up the president's tax and spending bill, where it's expected to face some opposition. ABC's Nicole D'Antonio is in Washington with details.
This morning, President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill faces a battle in the House.
Optimistic as always.
House Speaker Mike Johnson can only afford to lose 3 votes after the Senate worked through the night to pass it, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. Some Republicans voicing opposition to the bill's price tag, estimated to add $3.3 trillion to the debt over 10 years.
I am not inclined to vote for this bill, as based on my understanding coming out of the Senate.
And House Democrats united against it.
This dangerous and extreme Republican budget will result in Americans losing their lives.
The bill includes nearly $4 trillion in tax cuts, along with new funding for immigration enforcement and defense. It would also eliminate taxes on tips and overtime, and it imposes work requirements on Medicaid. A nonpartisan analysis claims nearly 12 million Americans could lose health insurance. But President Trump insists the Medicaid cuts only target waste, fraud, and abuse. ABC's Mary Bruce pressing the president on this claim.
Are you saying that the estimated 11.8 million people who could lose their health coverage, that is all waste, fraud, and abuse?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it's going to be a very much smaller number than that, and that number will be waste, fraud, and abuse.
What number is that? What analysis are you seeing?
I'm not seeing a number, but I know it's much less than the number you gave.
House Speaker Mike Johnson trying to keep his caucus in line.
They went a little further than many of us would have preferred. So a lot of work ahead, but that's the job, so we'll get it done.
Overnight, a key House panel has voted to send President Trump's signature bill to the floor. The president says he wants the bill passed by July 4th, but he acknowledges that will be very hard. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you agree with cuts to Medicaid in Trump's spending bill? Let's take a look. 41% of you say yes, and 59% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. With the countdown on for the changeover of UHV to the A&M system, a new logo will soon be revealed. Associate Vice Chancellor of Academic Affairs for Texas A&M, Dr. Jim Nelson, talked about some of the upcoming events ahead of the official transfer. Nelson says the first major step will be the new logo unveiling on July 17th. Nelson says engineering and agriculture majors are being considered, which he says will hopefully keep graduates in the local area, benefiting the local economy.
We can really believe we can, begin to attract the regional kids, give them a good solid education with the employment opportunities within the region. We feel that's very, very important. And that's, I think, one of our goals going forward is we want to be a partner with the region. We really want the region to partner with us.
Since the official date of transfer to the A&M system will be on September 1st, the first day of the fall 2025 semester will be September 2nd. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It is 6:46 on our Wednesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, a major university changes course on a controversial sports policy involving transgender athletes. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Miss Saya. Happy first birthday from Grandma Sally. Wishing you all the love. Can't wait to celebrate. Enjoy your special day.
Happy birthday to Shirley. Happy birthday, Shirley. We love you so much. We hope you have an amazing day. Love from Juan Michael.
And happy birthday to Monaco. Happy birthday. I'm so proud of you. You're the sunshine of our set of 8. I love you so much. Can't wait until our next adventure. Love from your sister, Carolina.
Very nice. Happy birthday also to the comedy legend, Larry David. The Curb Your Enthusiasm star and Seinfeld co-creator is 78 today.
To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crosswordstoday.com, click on the drop-down menu, and click on the Home tab, and you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo. The time now, let's get a look at our clock. It is 6:47 on our Wednesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
Absolutely. We'll be right back, by the way. Good morning, everyone. Trey Mining here, and we'll see temperatures by 9 o'clock getting near the 90-degree mark. This is the feel-like temperature. Actual temperatures will be in the 80s, but they're getting pretty close to that right now. And notice by the time we get to 12 noon, 2 o'clock or so, will be 102 to 103 heat index value around most of the Crossroads area. So if you're along the coast, along the Highway 59 corridor or points north, can't escape the heat unless you go inside the air conditioning, that is. But if you are outside, plenty of water, find some shade and take frequent breaks. We have a passing rain shower or two coming out later on today. And Victoria forecast, cloudy to partly cloudy skies, hair and dust in the atmosphere, scattered rain shower here and there. Highs near 90 degrees. And an extended forecast for us here, 20% chances of rain for your Wednesday. And they're cutting the rain off, they're keeping the heat in, even more so by the July 4th holiday on Independence Day, which is Friday, and running through the weekend. Mid-90s or so by the first part of next week. Maybe some rain chances again in the daytime heat on Monday and Tuesday.
In Philadelphia, the University of Pennsylvania will no longer allow transgender women to compete in female sports. The ban is part of a deal with the Trump administration as it ends a case focused on a record-setting transgender swimmer. Here's ABC's Andrew Dimbert.
This morning, the University of Pennsylvania reversing course, saying it will now ban transgender athletes and strip trans swimmer Leah Thomas of her swimming titles. The school reaching a deal with the Trump administration, saying it will comply with Title IX as interpreted by the Department of Education, and saying it will restore the records and titles of female athletes who lost to Thomas and send apology letters to them.
Leah Thomas pulling away.
Leah Thomas made history in 2022, becoming the first openly transgender athlete to win an NCAA Division I title. The win sparked fierce debate over fairness, including from some of Thomas's own teammates.
I knew there would be scrutiny against me if I competed as a woman. I was prepared for that.
The Trump administration earlier this year suspended $175 million in federal funds from Penn, claiming the University of Pennsylvania repeatedly violated civil rights laws by allowing men to compete in women's sports. Education Secretary Linda McMahon calling Penn's new agreement a major victory for women and girls nationwide. No comment yet from the NCAA or Leah Thomas, but in a 2022 interview, she defended her decision to compete.
Trans people don't transition for athletics. We just want to be able to live our lives.
Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A major settlement reached between a media giant and the president. CBS's parent company Paramount Global and President Trump have settled a $16 million lawsuit over election interference allegations. The legal dispute stems from last October's 60 Minutes interview with then Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris. The president alleges the segment was misedited for political reasons. The settlement includes no apology or regret from Paramount. A federal judge has blocked the dismantling of the Department of Health and Human Services, ruling recent mass layoffs were likely unlawful. The Trump administration is ordered to halt downsizing plans affecting employees in 4 HHS divisions. The ruling stops finalizing layoffs announced in March. A wild scene in Yolo County, California, where a fireworks facility caught fire and caused several explosions. A number of fireworks could be seen going off amid the flames. Several explosions appear to engulf structures on the property. A 1-mile evacuation order was put in place around the area where the fire was burning. No word on the fire's cause at this time. A Texas capital murder case attempts to severely punish abortion pill use by treating a fetus as a person. You can read this story by the Texas Tribune on crossroadstoday.com. And speaking of hurricanes, well, we were talking about that earlier in the show. Luckily, we're okay thanks to the Saharan dust.
Exactly. We're quiet for the moment.
But that's just for now. So be sure to pick up your 2025 hurricane tracking guide. Trey's going to demonstrate.
You got it right here, of course.
Here's the guide. You can stay prepared and stay safe this season by picking up one of your free copies at these locations. We've got Full of Pup in Cuero, the El Campo Cycle Center, Palace Bingo in Victoria, which is always a lot of fun. I love to eat those burgers. They have a great cafeteria there. Coastal Bend College in Beeville, Went Services in Victoria, Victoria All Sports, and Aztec Ford in Goliad. So be sure to get yours today. And speaking of Aztec Ford and Goliad, they're giving away a free generator.
A generator, yes.
Yeah, I like that. And it's to help to keep your lights on when it matters the most. It's quick, it's easy to enter, and you just got to head on over to crossroadstoday.com, click the menu, hit entertainment, then contest, and enter the Storm Ready Power giveaway.
So you'll be prepared just in case.
Be prepared. And we also want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus.
Quick look at your weather right here. We're dealing with a few rain showers today, here and there. 20% chances, hot temperatures in the 90s. Triple-digit heat index value, even hotter by the weekend. We're cutting the rain off, though. So main story is going to be the heat. Saharan dust in the air this afternoon once again, and giving that milky appearance to the sky. Be careful out there. It's going to remain hot. Carry an umbrella just in case today.
You know, I went out for a bike ride yesterday, and it was very hot, Trey.
Yes, getting even hotter by the weekend.
I might take a break from getting on my bike today.
May want to think about that, or get one of those exercise bikes that's indoors.
Indoors, yeah, indoors is the way to be today. All right, well, thank y'all for joining us. Be sure to tune in tonight and join Shauna, Dawn, Maclovio, and Max for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great Wednesday.